Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel Public Void Geek, and this is Sanam. So we were working on the Firebase authentication and we did Google as well as email authentication, and in this video we're gonna see how to check how many users are online on your app. So this could be a very useful function for a chat app, or in fact most of the apps these days, where people are, or the app developers are tracking that how many users are online. Let's say WhatsApp. So if you go to WhatsApp and you see, when you open a chat, you can see if the user is online or not. And same with the Facebook Messenger. When you go on Facebook Messenger, you can see that the users who are online with green mark. So we are not going to put the green mark designing and the dot, but we're just going to see the count, and we'll see how to track the user when he's online and when the user is disconnected from the app. So all these things we're going to see. So let's get started. All right. In order to do this, first let's go to our Firebase console. Let me just open it up. Here we go. And right over here, we need to go to database, and then let's create a real-time database. And for now, I'm just gonna put read and write true. It's not a good practice, but just for the tutorial, I'm okay with it. And this is our database right now, and we need to put data over here saying that the users which are online should be displayed here, and when the user goes offline or disconnect from the app or signed out from the app, uh, we will remove the entries from here. I'm gonna put this here, and then let's get started. So first thing first, in order to use the Firebase database, we need to modify our pod file, and we need to add one small pod, which is pod. You can just go to Firebase documentation as well, right over here. And you can see they have given this pod as well. They have asked us to install this pod. So real-time database iOS, get started. And Firebase Core is already installed, so we just need to copy this one and we'll put it right over here. Command save, and let's go to our terminal. And this will be desktop and Firebase pod install. So it will install 2 to 3 pods for us, and there you go, 3 pods. And we'll have to reopen the project so that it gets synced. So I'm going to close it, and then I'll open it again. And I'll do a command build so that the pod is compiled. And then let's try to run the app as well to see where we are and what we need to do. So this is the app right now, and let's just try to log in. ABC app, abc.com, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sign in. So we are signed in. All we want is a number over here saying that these many users are online right now, and that number gets updated in real time. Right. So let's go to main.storyboard, and let's just add a label over here. Let's go with 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then right from here, 23 is fine, height is okay, and then horizontal correct. And then using assistant editor, we'll open our signed in VC, and we'll create an IB outlet for this label as well. Let's say online user count. So we will update this label with the number of users who are online for our app or in our app, right? So first thing, we need to create a reference to our database. So by reference, I mean, let me just bring back our Firebase page. So we need to reach out to this node, and then we will add our own folder. So how Firebase works, it's a real-time database. It's a NoSQL database. So it's like a collection. So you have a folder, and inside a folder you have file. So it's like folder plus file and file. So it goes like that. It's a key value pair, and something similar to MongoDB. So uh, let's get started with that as well. So right over here, we'll do in the constant area, we'll do let uh, user default is done. So we'll create the user reference first. So that would be user ref. It's fine, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna call user ref. So database, which is the Firebase database, dot database, dot uh, reference with path and the string, and we'll call it online. So this is the folder, you can say, or the node that we are creating called online. We haven't created it, so it will be something like this. Let me just show it to you. It will be called online, and then inside online we will have uh, UID, uh, UID, and then maybe 1 2 3 4 5 6. So it will be something like this. So inside online we will have the user's UID, and we will track that which user is online and which user is not, right? And if we remove this, online is gone, right? So this is what we're going to do. We're creating this online reference, and then in order to put the UID, we also need to check the current user, and we need to fetch his user ID as well. I mean the UID, unique identifier, right? So let user is, my keyboard is broken, I guess. Let user is equal to auth dot current user, and we should not explicitly force unwrap it, but we know that we are logged in because we are into signed in VC, so we already have a user, right? All right, and now let's create a couple of functions. I'm gonna create one called fun set user online. So in this function, we're going to set our user online. That means we're going to put the data into the Firebase database, and put the UID and the user details over there, right? So in order to do it, we'll call it let current user ref. So current user's endpoint, that means his UID, UID. So that's what we're going to need. We'll say self dot user dot child, self dot user ref dot child, and the child would be user dot UID. Sorry guys, my keyboard is seriously broken. This new Mac, the period key and the E key is not working properly. Anyways, let's continue. So now we have reached the UID endpoint. Now all we need to do is we have the key of UID. We need to put a value, which is the email or the username, whatever you want to. So I'm gonna put the email here. So I'll say current user ref dot set value, and the value is gonna be self dot user dot email. So, and I'm gonna call this function as well, set user online. And now if we just run this right now, we will be able to see something. So let's do like this. Since we are already logged in, there you can see online, and we were logged in with abc at abc.com. So this user is there. But now if I sign out, or if I close the app or disconnect it, nothing is gonna do. So we need to first, so let me just show it to you. So if I go like this, I close the app. We can see nothing has been changed in the database, right? So what we want is to see if user is disconnected, then we need to remove this, right? So let's go back and let's add one line over here, which is um, current user ref dot on disconnect remove value. So this is the function that this is a Firebase function again, and this function will be called, or it will remove the value from the given key, which is the UID, if the user is disconnected, right? So let's go back and let's check now. So I've removed it, and you can see that the user is gone, right? And I open it again, and the user is back. So user is online now, and user is offline now. Perfect. But we have a few more things to fix. Uh, but first, let's work on this thing as well. Uh, the signed in use account, right? So if you want, I can set it, or if you want, we can do it something like this. But it won't work if there are multiple users. Let's try this. Online user account dot text. We just put a constraint over there. Yeah, we did something wrong. So let's go to Alt option, and then let's bring this one in. I'm not gonna remove the constraint right now. So online user label. Let's call it like this. And now let's do it like uh, online user label dot text is equal to. Now since we don't have the values, that's what I was trying to say. So we don't have the values right now. So I need to go, or we need to go and check how many users are there. Right. So let's create a function for that as well. And Firebase gives a very easy function. It's called observer, which will observe the change in the value in the database. So whenever the value is changed in the database, our app will get synchronized automatically. So we'll fix that. We'll add that function now. I'm gonna call func update online user. So this one is gonna set the user online, and this one will update the function, the database itself, and the app itself with the values. So again, we need the user ref because we need the same endpoint, the online endpoint, and we need to observe this particular endpoint, and we need to observe with the value. So if there is any change in the value, we need to observe that. And then in the snapshot, we'll get a snapshot, and then we can say if snapshot dot exists. So if there is anything inside the database dot exist, and then we can try to update the label. So the label is self dot online user label dot text is equal to snapshot dot children count dot description. And if there is nothing inside the database, then we will say copy this, paste this, and zero users, or let's say no one is online, right? Seems like it won't work because we haven't called this function. So update online user, and now let's run the app, and now let's check. There you go. So one user is online, and let's just uh, run it on another device as well at the same time to make sure that. So one user is online on this particular device, it says, and then I'll just do 123 at 123.com 123456, sign in, and then there we go. So since two users are online, it is showing two. And if I go like this and I'll close this, and we have one user online. So it is getting updated in real time. We are able to see, and but we have a couple of problems. First is if I click on sign out, right over here you can see that the user is still signed in. So that means even the user is signing out, we are still not updating our database. And you can check it over here. It says ABC and 123 are online. So we need to fix this. And in order to fix this, we need to go down to our sign out press button, where we are signing out our user from the app. And right over here, we just need to do a couple of checks, or just need to add a function, a small function to remove the user from there, right? So all we need to do is like, uh, so we can create a reference over here, which is we can create that reference right over here as well. So let's just do it here. Let's not utilize the memory if we don't need it. So online ref. So this reference is directly so the reference over here is still the online endpoint, right? And this reference that we're going to create is the reference till here. So that one was till here, the user ref, and the online ref should be till here. So we will remove this online ref, right? Online user reference will be we have a user ref, so we can say user ref dot child, and the path would be user dot uid. So now our reference, we have another reference which is still this uid, and all we need to do is say online ref dot remove value with completion handler is okay. So we can say error, and we don't need anything in the reference, so we can keep it nil, I mean the underscore, and then we can say if error is not equal to nil, then we can print error dot localized description. Else the user will be removed. The user key will be empty, so no value will be there. So key will be removed as well. Let's try to run this and let's check this out. So I'm gonna sign out this one, and I'll sign in this one. So we have one user signed in, and let's go right over here and say 123 at 123.com 123456, and just to make sure that our database, yes, ABC is logged in, and let's go back to this one and sign in, and we are signed in now. We have two users. One is 123 at abc.com, 123 at 123.com, and abc at abc.com. So if I sign out now, 123 user is removed, and if we check, we have one, and if I sign in, we have two. If I sign out this one, and that wouldn't work because we haven't updated our build for iPhone 10. So let's do that as well. Let's run our build on iPhone 10 as well. So I'll open this back, and then press abc at abc.com 123456. So we have two users now. If I sign out this one, we have 123 logged in, and even our app says one user logged in. And if I sign in back, and it should say two users signed in. There we go, perfect. But now I think this should be enough for most of the apps. But sometimes you also want to see if the user has minimized the app, or the app has gone into a background mode. So let's say if I just do like this, uh, then probably I'm not online, right? Because I might be using some other app right now. There is a possibility that we want to track this state as well. So we can do this. It's a very easy process. So let's go back to our Xcode, and this time we need to work with our app delegate.swift file. Right, so inside our app delegate, we need to have a couple of things that we need to do. So if you just go down, we have two functions. One is did enter background. So this function is called every time your app, uh, when you press the home button, your app, or you open another app, your app goes in a background mode. So this function is called, and when you open your app back, this is the function which is called uh, your application uh, will enter will enter the foreground. So if you can just read over here, called as a part of transition from the background to the active state. Here you can undo many of the changes made on entering the background. So whatever you do over here, you can undo over here, right? So let's do a couple of things over here, and then we will see if it is working, and then we will undo as well in foreground mode, right? So again, we need to update the database, right? So we need to have the like user ref is equal to which is database dot reference with path and string, and the reference would be online, and then user is equal to the current user, and then let current user ref. So this is pretty much the same code that we entered there. Is equal to user ref dot child, and then user dot uid, and we will do current user ref dot remove. So this is all we need to do, which is we are creating a database path till online, and then we are setting our current user in a user constant, and then from here we are again reaching the UID path. So what we did in the first line over here is we are coming right over here in the online, and then in order to access this, we need to know that which user we are logged in with, right? So right over here, we are setting that user so that we know which user we are trying to remove or we're trying to access right now. And then we are going to that user's UID. So let's say I'm abc at abc.com. So from online, I'm going right over here, and then I'm saying remove this data. So as soon as you remove this and hit enter, this Firebase doesn't allow that. So basically, you cannot. Let me just show you this thing. So if I'm trying to add a new, let's say, UID, and the value is nil, and I do add, it won't be added. So you need to have the key as well as value, and the only chance when you can have a key without a value is something like this. When you have a key but you have a data under it, then you don't need a value for this key, because this key and value under it is actually the value of this particular key, right? I don't want to make it more complicated, so let's just make it simple. And since I removed that user, I need to go back and sign in from this one. So abc at abc.com, the user is fact, right? So right over here, what we did is we removed the user's key value, and now if I try to run this on, let's say, iPhone SE itself, and then I run it, so we have two users online. Now if I hit this one, you can see that iPhone 10 says that only one user is left, right? But if I come back, we are still one, so we need to fix this as well. So in order to do this, all we need to do is we just copy paste everything from here to right over here, and we just need to add one thing, which is to say current user ref dot set value, and the value that we want is user dot email. And now if we run, this will fix the problem when we go from background to foreground mode. So I press home button, it's 1, and I go back. We have 2, 1, and 2. Perfect. But now we have one problem, and our app will crash because of this problem. So we really need to fix it. Which is, if I click on sign out, it's okay. We have one user. But now if I hit the home button, our app is crashing because our current user is logged out. So this particular thing is nil right now. We don't have any user. So we need to put a check over here. So let's do like this. If auth current user is not equal to nil, then we can do all of this, right? And let's run this now. So let's do 123 at 123.com, 123456, sign in, and we have two users. And if I hit sign out, nothing happens. And if I press home button, save. But now if I hit this one, we will have another crash because the same logic needs to be applied in the foreground as well. Right, so we'll say if auth current user is not equal to nil, then we will perform these things. And let's run it. So 123 at 123.com, 123456, sign in. Two users are signed in and sign out. Only one user is left. If I do this, and then if I do this, and I go back, and let's say I remove this. So there we go. This is how we can track the user. So you can do more things with this. If you want, you can let me know in the comment section, and I'll create another video where we can have a table view. So if you press this button, number 2, this label, we can make this as a button, and then if you press it, we will be segued to another table view, and over there we can see the user's email address and see all the users who are online. Right? So if you want that, we can do that as well. Let me know in the comment section, and that's it, guys. Please do like this channel and subscribe and share the videos. Please do support the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.